What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's popping? We in here. How's everybody doing? Podcast 106. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. So I gotta let me turn on some air in here. Real quick, it's something that just popped in my head, just thinking about it. I'm in the car right now, and I remember probably a year or two ago, I remember I had my digital recorder in my hand, and then whenever I was out, if I was walking a dog or riding somewhere or going for a walk, I would just be talking in the digital recorder. Then later on, I would have to go back and put the audio in my video editor on the phone and edit it up and then make that into a podcast episode. And like I said, it's just a couple of years ago I was doing that. And look how technology has already changed and come in. Now I can go on live and do the same thing. I don't have to do all this extra steps. I could just go on live and say what I got to say, and it's in there. You know what I'm saying? So today I want to talk about keeping an information notebook. All right, keeping an information notebook. This is still part of a series. Like I said, it's not going to be a back-to-back series because every now and then I might get on live and talk about something else on the podcast episode. But I'm going to have a lot of other topics to go along with the things that young black men should know. And as I always said before, although I'm addressing it to black males, young and old, this could apply. Some of the things I'm talking about can definitely apply to male, female, men, women, but I'm addressing it to black males because I've been noticing a big void or a big change in how black males are maneuvering, I should say, how they moving in life. And it doesn't look too cool, and it seems like they're getting the short end of the stick. So this is why I'm doing this series and doing these videos / audio, because you guys who are listening to me on the podcast, audio podcast platforms, you'll be getting this as well. So with that being said, you already know, what it is. This is Thoughts of the Week podcast. You're rocking with the best thoughts of the week. Let's get it.
You are listening to Thoughts of the Week.
All right, yes indeed, we're back. And so let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So one of the things I say used to do, but I still do, because I still do it now, is I keep a notebook, and it can be, for you, can be whatever type of notebook you want to use. That's totally up to you. But what I think is beneficial to young black males is to keep a notebook just with information in it, stuff that you can use, stuff that you can refer to later on. It might be, it could be any type of information that is going to be beneficial to you, that you will be able to use, whether you use it often or later on. It might be information that you might have picked up from reading a book. You might have heard a video. You might have heard somebody talk. You might have had a conversation with somebody, and you thought it was important enough to write down that bit of information. And like I said, it could be information you use for now. It could be information you use for later. But I think it would be very beneficial to start you a notebook where you put some vital information in there. And again, it's going to vary from person to person as far as what type of information you feel is important. But the thing I say is that it should definitely be something constructive and that you can use. All right. And I remember seeing a video one time, and this is something you can do too. As a matter of fact, what I'm about to say is going to have some slight connection to the next episode I talk about on Thursday in this series. And but it's something I heard on the I think it was a video a few years ago, and this person made mention that you should sit down and write down the names of the people who you think will be allies in your life and who will be enemies in your life. And I thought that was pretty interesting to say that. And that's just a suggestion anyway of one of the things you could put in your notebook. You know, you might be having dealings with people, and it might come a time where you have people around you that you might want to do some inventory on, I guess you could say, or processing, or however you want to put it. And might consider some things. And that might be one of the things you put on your notebook. You know, what people you can write down, the people that you know, the people that you interact with on a more regular basis, and determine which people you can write their names down, who will be your allies, who will be enemies in life. As they say, you keep your friends close, or your enemies close, friends closer, or your friends close and your enemies closer. Right? So that might be something to consider as one of the things you could put on there. All right. Y'all guys give me 1 second here. I'm over here at the post office, and we're going to come right back. I'm going to give you a little promo break. So I'll be right back.
Do you know the power of whiteboard animation videos? Whiteboard animation video captures your viewer's attention and aids in retaining information. So it doesn't matter if the viewers are children, teens, or adults. The results would turn out to be a very positive experience. So if you're interested in having these types of videos made for you, I will create your animated whiteboard videos. All you have to do now is decide on which plan best fits your budget, and we can get started today. Don't worry, if you have any questions, you can contact me by text or email. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Are you thinking about starting a new business, but maybe having trouble coming up with a new business name? Maybe you're even thinking about coming up with a slogan for your business. You might even be thinking about coming up with a new website name for your business. Say no more, because I will brainstorm that business name, that slogan, and I will research those domain names so that you will be able to use one of those names for your website. All right, so all you have to do now is pick a package that fits your budget, and I will see you on the other side. All right, take care. Peace.
All right, yes, indeed, we're back. Definitely consider those services. If you're starting a business, or you already have a business and you're thinking about starting a couple of more, or some side hustles, and you need some ideas on business names, definitely check out that service. And if you need some animated whiteboard videos created for you, take a look into that as well. Definitely take a look into that as well. Let me see what's going on here. All right. So where was I? I was talking about something I heard a few years ago, or probably longer, about writing down those people who you think will be allies in your life and those will be enemies. That's something that you could put in your notebook. All right. Even this podcast that I'm doing, this episode now, it might be something you want to jot down in your notebook, simply about keeping the information notebook, or really talking about what I just said about having allies or enemies, writing down the names of people. It could be family members. It could be friends you're with now. It could be people you go to school with, people at your job, so on and so forth, if you're working. And that's just one idea. Again, you can watch a lot of videos, read books, and whatever grabs your attention, jot those things down. And that's something I've done over the years, is I look at a lot of videos and I read. I got a lot of books on my Kindle app. And from time to time, even though I can refer back to them, you just never know with technology, as good as it is, and the potential of it can be better, but it also involves a dynamic where it can all be shut off. So you could lose all that information. And so it's always good to try to jot down something in an actual physical notebook, so you can always have, in case something like that ever happens, you have something for you to always, refer back to on your notes. All right. But it definitely should be something that can help you progress in life. And again, it could be something that you might find interesting now, but you might not be able, you don't see a use for it at the moment. But it might be something that is useful down the road. All right. And again, like I said, I watch a lot of videos. I jot down a lot of notes from videos I've looked at. It could be from things from social media strategies. It could be things about billionaires. I've written stuff down. I watched some billionaire interviews, and there were some things what I've always noticed, a lot of billionaires will put in some jewels in between some stuff they say, and you just got to be able to watch them and catch it. And the good thing about video, you can always, rewind it back and say, well, what was that he said or she said? And, write that down. Same thing with books. There's a lot of information, a lot lately, within the last 5 to 7 years, I've been off and on reading different books from retired special forces like Navy SEALs, or there was a guy who was in the Delta Force, Green Berets, and there's books out with these guys giving some good information on a whole, not only on like personal protection and personal security. He also talked about things medical-wise, health-wise, the different strategies they used when they were doing missions, and how you could transfer some of those practices over to an entrepreneur type thing. So, and then just the mindset of how they get things done and how they plan and stuff like that. The things I would write down. I've been doing that a lot, studying a lot of that, and applying those things that they use in the military and special forces over to entrepreneurship. And it's really come in handy. So you can do things like that. Again, I mentioned the social media. You could look at relationship videos and jot down something that hits your mind. Another thing I like to do, I haven't done it lately, but every now and then I would do it, is I'll watch interviews, and I'll just study how people conduct themselves during interviews. Even ones that when people are getting a little bit, like the person who's doing the interview would try to get a little greasy, asking something a little slick to the person they interviewing. And I would study how each one would handle the situation how one would handle it and just get upset, how others knew how to take what somebody said and either flip it back on them or be able to still to change it back to what the interview should really be about. And that's always good because you never know when you can be in a situation where you might be interviewing somebody. Even on the news, I would even watching the news sometimes, and even if it's something like a bad event, a shooting or something crazy, and they'll interview some people, I would just take notice how they would have certain people grab them and interviewing them, knowing they look funny looking on camera, or they know that, you know, they'll talk to them before putting them on camera, and then when you see them on camera, they can't speak correctly or express themselves, and sometimes it could be set up that way for the type of event that occurred, and who might have done a crime or whatever. You just kind of notice these little subtleties about a lot of things. And so I would either jot that down or you sometimes take a mental note. But some things I would take down, even if it's just the name of the video, to have it be something I can refer to later on and say, yeah, how did that person handle themselves again? What was the name of that video? And I would write that in the notebook, the title of the video. All right. So it's a lot of things you can put in your notebook. And this is where I got that idea from, matter of fact, from reading the book. I can't remember if I was doing this beforehand, but excuse me. But definitely after I read this book, should be showing up. There you go. After I read that Marcus Garvey book right there, because it was in that book about keeping a notebook with just information in it. Definitely after I read that, I was doing it a lot more regularly. And the other picture on top of that's just the notebook, just to give you an idea what type of notebooks, you know. But it's always your choice as to what type of notebook you use. But try to start you an information notebook. And again, like I said, it could be just about anything. It could be just about anything. But yeah, also check out that Marcus Garvey book. I think it's The Life Lessons of Marcus Garvey. It's a real good book. It's got a lot of different topics in there about leadership. I think a little strategies in there. It also talks about, like I said, the information notebook. And it might have mentioned, I hadn't read it in a while, so it might have mentioned something else about another type of notebook as well, besides the information one. Might have mentioned journal. I can't remember. But yeah, that's sitting on my shelf as well. And so check out that book. Take a look at that. A lot of good stuff in there. A lot of things that get you thinking and spark you to even come up with some things of your own as well. And I actually highlighted stuff in that book, and I took some of the stuff I highlighted and then jotted down in the notebook. All right. And thinking about that in itself, you can actually start your own personal library of information just by creating these notebooks. You can have several notebooks of various types of information. And if you have kids down the road, and it could be life advice and stuff. Sometimes you might have read some books on that. Also, just stuff you've gone through and some things you learned, you could put in that as information. All right. Because one thing I was definitely going to start doing, as well as making videos on it, I was going to start writing down what things have worked. And that's something that might be something else you might be interested in doing as well. And so the concept of that is it's just like the question says, what has worked? All right, what things have worked? And you could say what things have worked in a particular situation you was involved in. If you running a business and something worked out pretty good, you can always write down, hey, what worked in this particular situation? Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. And as far as entrepreneurship goes, I've read a book about promotion. I actually have one on my Kindle app about promoting. And I read a couple of other books I have on the physical books on the shelf about, promoting yourself or promoting things. And some millionaires have mentioned this as well. Be able to promote yourself constantly. And so I started doing that almost in everything I do. In some type of way, you'll find, if you don't, probably now you might start paying attention more after saying it, but I'm always promoting something, whether it's my website web address, or a product or a service, or I'm always promoting a particular upcoming episode or something. I'm always finding ways to promote, and whether I do it on different platforms, what the results are, and I would write something like that. That's something that has worked. So I would write on the top of the page what has worked in entrepreneurship, and I'll just start writing down, well, this worked doing this worked doing that. And that's something you can also add in your notebook, even doing like I said, in life situations. Doesn't have to be entrepreneurship. It could be your dealings with having to have a conversation with somebody. It might have been some rift or beef, and then you sat down, talked it out. If it's something good came out of it and worked on your behalf or for your behalf or in your favor, you can write that down. What has worked, in whatever you want to title it or write it down as, you can do that as well. And I guarantee you'll fill up the notebook pretty quick between reading books, watching videos, and something I'm going to speak on it, studying people, which I'm going to talk about on the next episode this Thursday. But you can also write down what you found or from studying people. And like I said, I'm going to talk more about that in the next episode. That's something you can write down as well. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm not going to drag it on. You know me. Sometimes that's something I also took a look at myself, is that some of these videos I would kind of drag on with certain things. And I do it because I want to make sure people actually get the point. That's the real reason why I would sometimes repeat stuff over and over, maybe 2 or 3 times, and I probably need to be doing it, because you could just play the recording back. But I really be trying to hope people get to, really get the point, so it will stick. And so that's why I do it. But I've been catching myself lately on doing that and trying not to constantly repeat myself. So with that being said, I'm just going to leave it at that, and I hope this has helped you out. And whenever you get to see this video, I hope it's helped you out. Feel free to comment what you think, what resonated with you. And I'll see you on the next one, man. All right. So as always, appreciate it. Appreciate y'all checking out the show, the video show. And those who are listening to me on the podcast platforms, appreciate y'all. The links to those services, I'll be putting in the description very shortly here, in case y'all interested in that. And as always, you rocking with the best thoughts of the week. I'm out. Peace. See y'all Thursday, or maybe sooner. Just depends on what's going on. All right. Peace.
Whiteboard.